Would you introduce our guest, please?
Oh, my gosh. I'm so excited. She's a model. She's an actress. She's a spokesperson. Now she's an author. She is a local Chicago girl, Patricia Kara,
Hi, guys.
you know as model number 9 on Deal or No Deal.
And Patricia.
Hello.
Love that intro. Thank you.
Patricia and I are old pals.
I know this.
Yeah,
I just learned.
By the way, I would be the old in the old pal part.
Far from it.
Right.
It's great to see you.
Same here. I'm so happy to see you guys this morning. In spite of all the snow, getting here, it's nice to be
And
here.
you live in California.
I actually just moved.
Where?
Florida.
Oh, wow.
Where
It's
in
even warmer.
Where are you going in Florida?
Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to say you South Beach,
You
easy drive.
moved.
Yeah, I don't spend much time in South Beach.
I do. It's the only place my thong is accepted in South Beach. Yeah,
Oh boy,
yeah.
you're mankini. Well,
Yes.
so you've been you're born and raised here,
Born and raised in Chicago.
but you've been in LA a long time.
25 years.
Yeah.
So time for change, which is nice. And I actually lived in Miami 30 years ago. In between everything. So, yeah, it's nice to be back.
I was in
here.
Miami 35 years ago. It's like this. We're meant to.
We
we're
just
meant-
missed
meant
each
to
other.
This is
reconnect.
how it works. Yeah.
South Florida is great.
Yes,
It-
it is.
it's great.
I'm loving it. I actually was surprised at how much I love
gonna
it.
like it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice. Loving the humidity.
Yeah, well, that's a different feel.
Good for the skin,
Yeah,
for the hair.
Congratulations. Dream On, now deliver. The no-nonsense
you.
guide to achieving success in the entertainment industry. A beautiful cover.
Thank you.
And very cool that you're also traveling with your sister.
She's awesome. Say hi, Joe.
That's it.
We
Jonas Lonnie.
love Joanna.
And actually, the book cover was done by Sophia Spenzis,
I
who
love
you
So
know,
Spiral.
Chicago
Yes.
girl.
She's great. She's Greek too, Steve.
And her married name,
Everyone's Greek.
Trenchitella.
I don't have any women in my life who aren't Greek, apparently.
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
It's all about the Greeks.
I know.
So let's talk about this book for a second, then we can back up and talk a little bit about the show, because I assume a day doesn't go by where Meghan Markle isn't asked, is a question.
It's a common question.
Yeah, for sure. So Dream On.
Was she a model in Deal or No
She
Deal?
was. She was one of the alternate models. So sometimes she would be the banker girl. Sometimes she would take somebody else's place if somebody was sick or
Sure.
out that day.
She'd
So
step in.
Sure.
she was around for a short period of time. Second season.
Dream On, now deliver. All right, this is a message to everybody, but is it specific to women that you wrote it for?
I specifically wrote this book for the 15-year-old little girl that I was when I started my career here in Chicago. I didn't know anything about the entertainment business. I knew I wanted to be in entertainment, modeling, acting, everything I would see in magazines and TV shows. I was watching Fame back in the day, and I was like, I want to be just like that.
Sure.
So it's for that little girl that didn't have any information. I kept that in the back of my head the whole time as I wrote it. So
Well, it's like a
it's for
owner's,
newbies
it's
to
an owner's,
navigate.
it's an owner's manual for show
And
business.
the thing is, like, you could be that little girl and you could say to your parents, I want to be a model, I
Yes.
want to be an actress. And maybe they don't know the first thing about it. So this is the book that you grabbed to read it behind the door, closed doors. And now you can kind of
absolutely.
help. And again, I say share that with the 15-year-old because it can be confusing for everybody that's involved, especially when you want to start off.
And it definitely great for the parents to read, and it applies to other industries too. I mean, the bulk of it is about the entertainment business, but you can apply it to other businesses, your personal life. I talk about rejection, self-image. I talk about a lot of different things to just get you through, because it is a tough business and it's competitive,
Oh, yeah.
and you deal with rejection on
it's
a
brutal.
daily basis, if not many times a day.
Well, let me back it up first, because to
Back
me,
it up.
the three parts that really jump out are auditions, networking,
Yes.
and rejections. So let me start with auditions. There's people all the time that go, I'm really good at auditions, or I don't deliver on camera, or I'm really good at on camera, I'm not good at auditions, so I don't get the jobs.
True.
What do you say about auditions in the book without giving the book away for free?
That it's different every time. There are times where you're feeling good and confident, and then there are times where you just blow it. It just doesn't go well, and you're like, wow. You start kicking yourself. You're thinking about it after you're out of that audition. So it just varies. It depends on the day, depends on the situation.
And it also depends on the people in the room. You know, with my incredible
Oh my
movie
gosh,
career,
yes.
the
Yes.
bit parts I did movies in the 90s, a bunch of bit parts. And I got parts where I thought, you come in first and you think, well, I really got to nail the audition. It's really about the people in the room if they want to work with you.
And when you're auditioning with somebody in the room, it depends on what they're giving you
Sure,
too. And you have to try to get past whatever it is you think they're giving you or not giving you. You just need to do your thing.
Be yourself. Because you're like,
you
I didn't
have
want to
to.
audition with that person, but here you are. So you just have to do you, not
But now
worry
it's
about
different,
them.
right? Because now, how often are you in a room with humans as
So
opposed to
that's-
doing it online or in video?
That's the big change. Now it's self-tape. So you're missing out on that opportunity to be, there's good and bad to it all. I mean, you're missing the opportunity of being in the same room with that person, which is tough. But the good thing about self-tapes is you can do it over and over and over until you get it right, till the way you like it, and before you submit it.
And
Right.
you had the opportunity to audition for so much more.
Yes.
Because
And
before, if you want to audition in New York, you'd have to take the morning flight, do your audition.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And now you don't have to just audition for things within where you're living.
Right.
And you don't have to live in L.A. You can live in South Florida.
Exactly. There you go.
Look at you. Look at you.
That was a big thing for me. I'm like, I don't have to be in LA anymore. But I loved LA. It was great while I was there all those years. Loved it. But
It was tough.
I'm excited to explore something different. I think the book now, I'm going back to basics, and I'm actually applying it to my life right now because I'm in a new state, new agents, new casting directors, new networking people. So I feel like I'm going back to the basics and starting over in a sense. So yeah,
It's cool too because
I'm rereading my book.
back in the day, my husband Kurt is a model, so he would go to Miami and be he'd be modeling. Miami was the epicenter of modeling, and you're a model.
Yeah.
Is that what you were doing when you were there?
That's what I was doing. And the modeling had just started. It wasn't as big as it is now,
Right.
30 years ago. So it was great, but it wasn't there.
Right.
But you, I mean, you look amazing. You haven't aged a minute, and I think the last time I saw you has
you.
to be 10 years ago, maybe longer.
It's probably been, it was when Deal first started.
Yeah,
There
so
were no
15
Deal.
years ago. But you look
Long
amazing.
time. Thank you.
Yeah.
As do you, my friend.
Well, thank you. I haven't aged more. I'm aging like a banana in the sun.
You have not aged. You have not aged.
But Dream On Now Deliver, available wherever you get your books, right?
Amazon,
Yeah, and make
Amazon
sure
stores.
Make sure you get through 4 copies. You're careless, you lose one. It's a great
4,
gift to
that's
hand
it?
out to your friends. Well, then
just
digitally,
kidding.
10
digitally
copies.
download
10,
another
yes.
5 or 10 more.
Absolutely.
But if you got a kid that has this dream, wakes up every day talking about it and all this, what a great thing to do for your kid.
It really is. I'm excited for parents to read this and be the support system and help guide. And it's great because you can go back to each chapter repeatedly. There are checkpoints to kind of remind you of some of the things you need to do.
Sure.
What did you just read about? Check this off your list. Check that off your list. So it's a great book that you can go back to quite a bit
All right,
throughout
so
your
we-
I can't
process.
wait for us to read it.
Yeah, well, you can borrow my copy.
I'm gonna practice audition later.
So, networking, rejection, I just want to touch on those when we come back because the rejection piece is huge. If you can get through the rejection piece and thicken that
It's a
skin a
tough
little
one.
bit,
It's
you're going
hard.
to be
Something
okay.
to
But
work
it's
on.
tough. But it's part of the business. And
It is.
obviously, want to ask you about Deal as well. And I do all the stunt work for the new host of Deal or No Deal
Do
Island.
you? Is that
Joe
you?
Manganiello?
Yeah. And, I was his
You're the
stunt.
body double.
You
I
do
was
look-
his same guy.
Yeah,
I mean, come on.
basically.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking the whole time we've been
Yeah.
sitting here.
In the
It's like,
movies,
gosh, he looks just like Joe.
I was his stunt ass.
Actually, a little bit better.
Yeah, right?
I
You're
think it
better.
looked better
Even
than
in
Joe.
this light.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It's 8:15. Let's do traffic first, then we'll come back and more with Patricia.
Thanks, you old dried out banana. The Kennedy.
Hey, wait, that's not funny.
Oh, here to downtown, 34 minutes. Not all that bad out there, despite the snow that's coming down. Ike Thorndale to the post office, 30. I-55 still dealing with this accident southbound 126. Right shoulder is blocked with that. Next traffic update in about 15 minutes.
The book is called Dream On, Now Deliver.
I love that they're playing the song.
Great title. The no-nonsense guide to achieving success in the entertainment industry. The good, the bad, and the ugly. You
that's
take it
great.
all on here. And it really is. I think this is a good elevator pitch for you. This is an owner's manual for show business.
Yeah, I'd like to think so.
Yeah, it's well done. So I want to talk about Deal because, it's such an iconic show. But before we get to that, let's hit those other two pieces. How important is networking?
Very important. I realized networking was more important when I moved to California. I used to live in New York prior to that, and I didn't do the networking part of it. Mind you, that was a long time ago, and things have shifted as I went along. But in LA, I found it to be very important. Where in New York, I jumped right into the business, no problem. LA, it took a while for agents to really get to know you and build those relationships,
Sure.
to send you out to auditions, to even take you on. And even the jobs, like everything took about, I would say for LA, about 2 years to get to that comfortable space that I had in New York.
And every phone number you have, every person you can text. And, it's funny, an agent told me this a long time ago before it was hip, said, you're going to see this, your text circle. That's going to be the people you're going to get work from. Sure. Those are the people you're close to, the people you text, the people whose phones you have.
Yeah, that's true.
That's another little sneaky trick.
And being from here, we have networks in different places where we want to do different work. And I lived in Phoenix for a while, so everybody from Phoenix. A lot of people moved to LA, but then I found years later, I don't have anybody in LA. Like, I don't have a network there. So it's important to make sure you keep those numbers and keep in touch with people.
Absolutely.
Because you never know where the next job's going to come from.
I talk about that a lot in the book. You just never know. In certain meetings you have, in certain auditions, it may not play out the way you want it in that moment, but it shows itself down the road, down the line. You never know if you've had that good rapport with that person. They will remember you for things. They will remember you.
Right.
So it comes back. It's just a matter of time, I think. You just never know.
No, I've obviously never experienced rejection.
No, never.
But
I want to talk about rejection.
Rejection is a big part of this business. There's no easy way to tell people.
I mean, were you ever rejected?
Daily. From the time I walked into agency's office, I can't tell you how many. I mean, we go through rejection, not just within the entertainment business. I mean, we get that a lot in the entertainment business, but think about it, every day in our lives, there's some sort of rejection.
Sure.
And with the entertainment, even when you book a job, even when you have that agent, you still experience some sort of rejection. You don't get the job at that audition you went to that day, another rejection. It's just a constant thing. It's how you deal with it. It's how.
But it's funny too, because it's the fine line between making it gigantically. That's an invented word, or missing it. Because not only are you beautiful, you've always impressed me with how smart you are. You can carry on a conversation. You're always able to be somebody who can talk about the world at large. You're not just somebody locked into the job. So, the generalization would be, well, somebody as smart as you and as beautiful as you, they're tripping over you and they'd never reject you. But that's not how it works.
Everybody gets rejection. Like I said, everybody, no matter who, what, where, when.
Yeah.
It's just a part of it, and it's how you deal with it and how you have to have a certain mindset. And you get used to the rejection. I have to say, like, I hated it when I first got it, but over time, you're like, okay, let's reframe this. Let's just
next.
Keep moving forward. And that's what I started realizing, going from one audition to the next to the next. I just stopped looking back and stopped listening to the naysayers and the rejections and just...
And you can separate yourself. You separate Patricia Kara from Patricia Kara that just got rejected. Like, you are not that person. You are this wonderful human that should have got every job. But you have to
Can you be
to,
my agent?
You have to learn how to separate yourself.
Yeah, she's a good Chicago girl. All right, so, Deal. This was such an iconic show, and they brought it back with this Deal or No
They
Deal
did,
Island
Deal
thing.
or No Deal Island.
But a good experience? Because not everybody says they had a good experience.
I did. I loved being on the show. I did 3 different versions of it, the prime time, the reboot, and the syndicated, the daytime version. And they were a blast. I loved it. We had a lot of Chicagoans on there, actually, some Greeks on there. Great contestants. We would interact with the audience members. Howie was amazing. Some of my best friends are from the show. Some of the models, producers. So I loved every part of it. Everybody's experience is different, and I loved my time on the show.
So talk about the moment you got the show. There's an audition you went to, and you got it.
When I got it, I mean, in our world, you get a job that's a day here, a day there, maybe a couple days. So when we first got this job, they didn't tell us how he was on. They didn't tell us exactly what it was. I thought it was a model's reality show, and it turned out to be this game show. And then, of course, once we were on set, Howie was there. It was pretty exciting, but I was like, okay, we'll work a few days and we're done.
Right.
But I remember one of the head people at Endemol said to me, get ready, your life's going to change. And I was like, yeah, okay. Thinking, everybody wants their show to succeed.
Sure.
But then once it aired and the ratings were through the roof, it came into the new year. This was December of 2005. By 2006, in January, they were calling us to do more shows, and it became years of my life. Wow. So it was life-changing personally and professionally.
Well, you guys in Millionaire were 2 shows that have set the stage for what
that was a big show.
Network TV is now, because people are tripping over each other to be on a game show.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And they keep bringing him back, which is great.
And you and Howard are the only cast members to
do all three versions. Right.
How is Howie? Do you ever shake your hand?
I try to high five him all the time. It just doesn't work.
Germaphobe.
He does. But he lets you, like mess with his head. I can't tell you how many times I put my hands on his head. He'll let you hug him. He's gotten better. I mean, when we first met him, you definitely could tell he would think, he'd be in his head a little bit. It was a lot having people approaching you so much. But I think over the years he's gotten used to it. And now he's on AGT and he's just surrounded by so many people that, he says he's gone up a tax bracket, or his accountant has gone up a tax bracket.
He's doing a lot of
or his therapist has gone up a tax bracket.
And he's doing a lot of important work for OCD, and for fighting OCD, which is good. So I respect the honesty with which he has come out and talked about it. Meghan Markle, do you get asked about it every day?
All the time.
Did you cross paths? Because you were doing different iterations.
She came during the second season. She was there for a short period. And I remember seeing her backstage and she was hanging out. And I know it's tough for the new girl to come in and you've got all these women that have been working together. So I went up to her and I said hi, introduced myself. And she was really nice. I thought she was really pretty. But she was more introverted. She really didn't say too much. She was really cool. And she would work on her lines a lot because she would audition for other stuff. From what I understand from the girls that were closer to her, she was very driven. She knew what she wanted, and
and she got,
which is great.
I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. Didn't she get Suits out of that show?
I don't know what she did in between, but I remember one day getting a screener for Suits through SAG-AFTRA, and I'm like, oh, I know that girl. I started watching it because she was on it, and I really liked the show. I love all the actors on there.
Yeah.
But I don't know what she did in between. I think she did do little bits here and there.
But you got noticed,
She
That's
did.
Step one, she got noticed.
Well, and you always need that first step to do the next.
Last word, you get it.
Last word, I get it?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. But I know that. I do. You've got this book that you're promoting, which I love. What else? Where are you at now? Where else can we see you?
I just did a big campaign for Princess Cruise Lines, which is the second time I have worked for them, and that was really fun. Actually, I heard they're in Greece and Italy right now. I'm like, why was I not on that?
I didn't get that gig.
So if they're listening,
you're ready.
Greece cruise, I want in.
And you did some stuff on HSN. Are you going to go back?
I did.
Well,
now that I'm in Florida,
yeah,
they're in Tampa, so.
Maybe.
You never know. Everything's
Easy
new right
road
now,
trip.
Starting over in a new state. So I'm looking forward to it. What did you say?
I said easy road trip. And also, they always shoot stuff, in and around South Florida. So there's no shortage of work to be gotten if you choose.
I feel like there is a lot of work in Florida.
Sure.
And not just within Miami and Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
Tampa, Orlando. I mean, we did one of the shows in Orlando for Deal or No Deal. We were there for 5 weeks doing the reboot for,
Do you like the new version?
So I've watched, they actually asked me to be on there as a contestant, and I was thinking about it, was moving forward with it, but decided not to do it.
I think that's smart.
Yeah. It's just very different. It's very Survivor, Amazing Race like, but I've been watching it, and one of our other models that was on the original was on there. She just got booted off, actually.
I think you should be a host of one of these shows.
Yeah, you'd be great.
You'd
be great.
Again, do you want to be my agent?
I'm saying it out loud for you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And by the way, we didn't know if we were going to announce this today, but Patricia and I are reuniting. As time allows, we're doing Beauty and the Beast at Disney.
I'm the Beast.
Yeah. No, the only
Hello,
way,
Beauty.
The only way I can be the Beast is in the costume. But it's going to be great. It's the senior division. Dream on, now deliver. Get it everywhere. Chicago's own, as we like to say. It's Patricia Kara. It's great seeing you.
Great seeing you guys. Thank you.
I think this is a cool.
Thank you
really
so much.
Cool
I really appreciate you guys having me on. I love seeing you guys again. Always.
Well, you're always
Thank you.
I'm going to buy my 4
Don't tell me
copies
that
right now.
I'm going to be here tomorrow.
Come on.
And the next day.
Feel free. It's Saturday, but we'll come in.
You're here.